Welcome back to AFAX number one stop to entertainment and trending news. Now, this video will be a little bit of an update and also a reaction to what Jamie Perkins put out. I have done a couple of videos, maybe 2-3, when it comes to Jamie and Nikki post divorce, from Jamie sharing that his revenue on YouTube has gone down and also Nikki finding love. But for the first time, I watched Jamie's video and I really felt sorry for him because I was really a huge fan of the channel, and when they divorced, I was just not so much into it. Jamie's so much into vehicles and other things that I'm not interested in. But when he has vlogs with his daughters or doing something different, then I catch up with those videos. Anyway, so for those who might not know who Jamie Perkins is and Nikki Thot, his ex-wife, these were like the OGs of YouTube couples. Like when it comes to vlogging, family channels, Jamie and Nikki were top there. And of course, they divorced, the channel went down. And also, it was such a huge shock to their audience because, including me, we never saw it coming. Anyway, so after the divorce, word on the street, at that time I was not doing these videos, but word on the street at that time was that Jamie had cheated. He must have been violent. Nikki also came back on YouTube, on her other YouTube channel, started being active on it, but she never cleared his name. Just to put it out straight there, he has never cheated on me. He was never violent towards me. So her silence really spoke volumes to so many people, and people really started to believe those rumors. So when Jamie puts out a video and we get to see probably where this rumor originated and the person who actually was a victim, of course we have two sides of a story, but he has come with his receipts, and it's clear that this man was abused physically, emotionally, mentally, name it all. And Nikki confirms even in a text message that she was physically abusive towards Jamie. And we can see that through this particular receipt. You can tell that Jamie really communicates very kindly, very nicely. You can see he puts the love you. From his messages, you can see that this is a man who is really trying to fight for his marriage, for his family. And Nikki actually confirms here, I apologize for hitting you. There's no excuse for that. I'm sorry. And Jamie actually shares that the physical abuse that was happening, he ended up even having a bump at the back of his head, something like that. And he even makes it clear that he has never hit her or retaliated violently towards her because that is just something that he wouldn't do, and he has always hated men that are violent towards women. Now, what is so sad, because we get to see video evidence, is that some of these things are happening when the kids are there. I mean, it's just so sad. Something else that we get to note is that they both did not have marriage troubles, just perhaps months, and then they were divorcing. These things started even before they had kids. And of course, sometimes you might find people throwing around, just go and get a regular job. But what we get to see is that Jamie, even before YouTube, was really a hard working man, and he wanted that as well from his partner. And he used to work, 12 to 13 hours. He has shown his receipts talking about that. He has also alleged that Nikki was cheating on him even before the kids were there. A year into their marriage, she was in communication, allegedly, with her ex-boyfriend. And this still continued. He says he got some Facebook messages, things like that. So the things that made him leave this marriage: cheating, emotional, physical abuse, which he has provided receipts for. The entire time, many people strongly believed that he had cheated on Nikki. He was always the bad guy on these YouTube streets. So we get to see where the rumor started, and I'm getting back to that point. So he shares this particular document. He was going through that physical abuse, so he decided to make an application with the court, and because they were really known and he wanted this matter to be very private, he made a request of just like an in-person court session, something of the sort. And so you can see from this particular court document, the application was made by Jamie Perkins. So someone at the court saw him there and they saw something written domestic abuse. And so they went on a particular platform. As you can see, you all want some tea. I tried posting in the other thread, but it says not open for replies. Yesterday, 22nd of October, I was in court for a driving related matter. Guess who walks in after lunch? Jamie, his mom and dad. They sat at the back of the court. My case was heard. Then there were 3 other people and them. So I stayed in the courtroom because I wanted to know what he was there for. Long and behold, they had the other 3 cases and then closed the courtroom for his case. His name was also suppressed off the court list. However, he did have a family violence order in his hand. He didn't do a good job at hiding the paper. I was 1 row in front but to the side of them. And so when you see some of the replies in this thread, people strongly believe that he was there because he was abusive, and this is what really sparked those rumors. So what we are getting to hear right now, 4 years later, is that he actually made this application because he was the one who was going through domestic abuse. Like literally, this man was being dragged on the internet as an abusive man, but for 4 years he stayed silent, took that narrative, and there was a time that he decided to clear his name and just put out he was not abusive, he did not cheat, and that was it. And still people did not believe him. And what you are getting to see right now is that he was actually the one who was being abused. Like guys, life has hit him so bad that he has ended up being an Uber driver. Like, it's that bad. And there's nothing wrong with being an Uber driver. It's just that this was someone who's making so much money, the kind of lifestyle that they had, to be at a point that you can't even pay rent, that you're even forced to do Uber, clearly shows you just how bad things are. And if you just try to put yourself in his shoes, this was someone who was vlogging and people meet him, they know who he is, like they're that famous. So he's doing this Uber thing and people get in the car and they get to find him as the Uber driver and they're wondering, what are you doing here? You can imagine even just how that affects his self-esteem as well. And for those who have been following the channel, after their divorce, Nikki did move close to her family together with the kids, and I believe it's about 2 hours from where they used to live. And according to Jamie, he hoped that Nikki would stay in the house that they had bought because she really loved that house and then it will be easy for them to co-parent. That was not the case. And what we got to see through his vlogs was that he moved near Nikki so that he could be able to see his kids often. And for those who have followed their vlogs as well, you do know that Jamie's parents love and adore those children. And what you've gotten to see is that his mom, in her old age, has moved 2 hours away from her home so that she can be able to see her grandkids. And we got to see that vlog. They did the bedroom makeover, doing the furnishing and all that. I believe his mom is 80. He has mentioned it in the video. You can check it out. But his father is not able to be with his wife because he still has to work. So at 75 years old, he has to work from Monday to Friday, then drive on a Friday evening so that he can spend time with his wife for 2 days before he gets back to work at 75, guys. So these are the kind of sacrifices that his side of the family are making so that they are close to the children. So let's get back to why Jamie is not making so much money on YouTube. I have done a video on that as well a couple of months ago because he had put a community post saying that his revenue has gone down, but he has shown some receipts as to how much he's making. On a good month, he makes like about $1,000. That is literally nothing when you have a house that perhaps even costs $1,000. He has shown receipts that on some months he makes $100. That is literally not even groceries or even paying for utilities. So he's been forced to do Uber so he can be able to provide for his children and most importantly pay his rent, which is saying he's struggling on. So the thing is, Jamie is into things like cars, manly stuff. And when they broke up with Nikki, essentially the channel was a family channel, and predominantly people subscribed to their channel for family, and most people are women. So on the days that he has his kids, he can vlog, but those videos do extremely well. But when he does other videos that show other things that he's doing, people are not interested in those videos. I included. I do not watch those car videos, but when he has videos with his kids, family things, I do watch those videos. So his channel has really been greatly affected by this divorce. So right now, according to what he stated, the rules right now is that he can only post one family video a week. And because people watch his channel for family, that means that he can essentially make nothing. So if he is to post 4 videos in a month, I can essentially say that he cannot even make $600. So basically he cannot make a living from content creation. I actually left a comment on his comment section. I honestly feel that he can still do what he's very passionate about. For those who have watched his videos, you know that he's very talented. Even on his editing, you can see the effort and the work that he has put on his videos. So I still feel that he can post consistently without posting the children. He can do his life as an Uber driver. People get to know his experience, the challenges that he has been facing. He loves cooking. He can show us cooking videos. He can do a day in the life. He can do sit downs, talk about mental health. And I honestly feel if he posts this kind of videos consistently, even though he might not be, or rather get back to where he was a few years back, he will still be able to make a living. He will still get those sponsorships. And I think it's really good that he's been honest enough to just share the reality of his life, that he's now an Uber driver, and right now there's nothing more to hide. So he can basically share his life with his audience, his life as a single dad. So I think he will really pick up from there. Something else that he shared, and you can just see how toxic the relationship that he has with Nikki when it comes to co-parenting. He says that they had an agreement that on the weeks that one of the parents' birthday is happening, then if the child is not with the parent, then the other parent can let the child be with the parent who is celebrating the birthday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for a couple of hours. So Jamie shares that he was turning 40 years old and he was looking forward to his birthday, spend a couple of hours with the kids, and he lets Nikki know in advance. And he shares the receipts. Nikki is very much aware that he would want to spend the birthday with the kids. So in his receipts, you can see that he says, hey, it's my birthday this coming Friday. I just wanted to send a quick reminder that I'll be picking the girls up after school on my birthday and taking them out somewhere until 6 p.m. Thanks. So Jamie shares this particular receipt. You can see it's on 11th May and it's about 9:34 a.m. in the morning. Please note that on this particular day, Jamie has already let Nikki know in advance that he would like to spend his birthday with the kids in the evening. So he says he gets a message that he has a dental appointment and he knows very well that he doesn't have any, and he calls the dental office and he notes that the dental appointment is actually for his daughter. And so just a few minutes after he gets that dental confirmation, which he did not do, he gets a message from Nikki. And you can see the message comes at around 9:57. So it's about 10-15 minutes later. And she says, okay, I've booked them in for dental appointments after school tomorrow at 5 p.m. Did you want to take them? So Jamie is stating that she on her end doesn't know that Jamie has already known that she has booked that appointment for that specific time, even though she knows that it's his birthday and he would wish to spend his birthday with the kids. This was not an appointment that was done a week before, a couple of days before. It was done specifically to make sure that he does not spend the birthday with his daughters at that time that he had set, because if the appointment has been made at 5 p.m., he's supposed to bring the kids back by 6 p.m. He has organized something for the children. He's not able to do that at all. So basically he cannot spend the birthday with his children, and especially his 40th birthday, something that was very important to him. In some of the receipts he has shared, you can just hear how Nikki talks to him that he has no friends, he has no family, he's depressed, and therefore she doesn't feel safe around him, even though he's stating, why would you not feel safe around me? And I've never been violent towards you. You have been the person who has been violent towards me. So she feels that, okay, this is someone who is stressed, doesn't have friends, he doesn't have family. Literally just hitting someone knowing very well that if he doesn't have so many friends, he doesn't have family, the only people that mean a lot to him are his kids, right? Then would you kick this person down who really wants to be involved in his children's life? And you can always tell that he's such a great dad, a very present dad. And it now makes sense why we see him making a lot of sacrifices, moving, doing all these things, because besides his parents, the most important people in his life are his children. Listen to this, guys.
I'm not dropping no damn kids at no police station.
You have to. You have to. You actually have to.
That just proves you don't care about these kids. Because
No, it proves I do, because I'm protecting their safety. I'm the one protecting their safety.
At the thought of a police last time. Did you not hear her last time?
I'm protecting the children from their safety. You've been violent. You've hit me in front of them. You've abused me in front of them.
That does not make them violent people. Let me remind you right now who you are. You are not shit. You ain't never been shit from day one. You will never be shit, you motherfucker. Try me. Fucking keep trying me.
I'm not trying you. I'm trying to be fair, and I'm trying to protect my safety and the kids' safety.
I will expose your ass. I swear to God I will. Keep fucking trying me, Jamie. I swear to God. No. I've had enough of this motherfucking shit. At the police station.
I think the only person who can be exposed is you. You're the cheater. You're the violent person. But I'm not doing that because I don't want my kids to have to see the real you on the internet.
Calm down.
Out of the house, Nikki. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave the house, Nikki. Please leave the house.
Look at you.
Please leave. Please leave the house. Please leave the house. This is violence. You've got the kids in your hands. Leave the house right now.
This is exactly what he wanted.
Leave the house right now.
This is exactly what he wanted.
Leave the house.
And look, he's getting video
Leave the
evidence.
house.
This has been planning this.
Leave the house.
He has been planning
Leave
this
the house.
from day one.
Leave the house. Leave the house. The children don't deserve to see this.
I think you need to take responsibility.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Leave the house.
You guys will never see my kids again.
That is
You guys will never see my kids again.
that will not.
Ever.
That will not happen. Leave the house.
Look at you guys.
Leave the house.
Look at you guys. That's
Leave the
hilarious.
house.
Look,
Your
Leave the
eyes,
house.
whatever, get
Leave
out.
the house, Nikki. Leave the
This is
house.
exactly what you wanted, Jamie.
Leave the
This is
house.
exactly what you wanted. You're actually
Leave the house.
exactly what you wanted.
And this is what I've been putting up with for years. Violence. All of this. And the kids have to see it. That's the sad thing. And never taking responsibility for any of her actions. Caught out trying to cheat on me, and then she acts like this. Instead of saying sorry, instead of trying to make it right. I'm sorry, Mom. You okay?
no, I'm not. Okay.
Tell us what you're saying.
So you can hear the threat from Nikki that you guys will never see my kids again. The best weapon, or rather the best way that she would punish Jamie and his family, is keeping the kids away from them. Which brings us back to the first point, how they love these kids. His mother at 8 years old has relocated, left her husband, her home 2 hours away, to move next to Nikki and the kids so that she can spend time with her grandkids. And so I really felt sorry for her just listening to her tearing up, perhaps even scared that the children would be taken away from them. And this makes a lot of sense why perhaps even the kids were taken 2 hours away from them, and they decided because they still want to be in the kids' life, Jamie relocated to be near his kids, and his mother has also been forced to relocate because these kids are very, very important to them. Anyway, I don't know what you think about this, guys. If you have been following Jamie and Nikki with this revelation from Jamie, what are your thoughts about it? Jamie has now put everything out there. He has shared his side of the story and the reason why things have not been okay with him, why he hasn't been posting consistently, because these are some of the things that have been happening behind the scene. And there are other things, of course, his health. For those who have been following him know that he's a sickly.
Why would you keep me from even knowing where Ava goes to kinder? Like, do you know how hard it was?
That's for my own safety. I don't trust you 100%. Like, let's be real.
Over the years, the only person who's ever been violent is you. Like, there's no reason for you to not trust me. Like, what have I ever
Because
done?
you have a whole lot more to lose than me, yeah? Like, I have a whole lot more to lose than you is what I'm saying.
But there's nothing...
You don't have family, you don't have friends, like, you're kind of depressed right now, whatever. You know, you don't have your kids, like, you can act out.
So that is Jamie sharing that he did not even know which daycare his child was going to. And he actually explained in the video that he was even not sure how Nikki managed to register the child as one parent without the other parent, because he didn't do anything about it. And so that is the conversation going on here. And she says the reason why that has not happened because she doesn't feel safe, because he doesn't have family, he doesn't have friends. So this is not someone that she feels is stable. Even to get this information, she does not trust him, which sounds like a lame excuse, knowing that what we have been seeing, this is a man who really wants to be present, has been very present, very active with his children. We also picked up that there is some sort of jealousy on Nikki's side. She is not happy that anytime she takes the kids somewhere, the kids say that their dad already took them there. So she feels like he does all the fun things with the kids, and he got like a trip or something to Disney, and he felt this would be such a lifetime opportunity for the kids, something that any child looks forward to. So he asked Nikki about it, and she felt that she has always wanted to take the kids to Disney, and therefore it would have even been better if Jamie had invited her so that they go together, which is really understandable. And I absolutely agree with her points that she would love to be there because this is a one-time opportunity. Anyway, Jamie actually acknowledges that on his reply on that particular text, so he validates her feelings. He also says the reason why he did not want to go with her is because of this violence, and therefore he just did not feel that it will be a good place for them to be together. Anyway, so Nikki says the kids will not go, they cannot take a couple of days off school, but in the same text she was willing to let the kids go to Disney if she was there. So we can tell it's not really about the kids missing school. She is not going to go there. And Jamie decides that he will not go to this trip with the kids, but instead she can go with the kids. He only needs to let the people who are sponsoring this trip to change the details, and she will go instead of him. And you can clearly tell that he really wanted his children to experience this. They have wanted this, and they can go with their mother and he will stay back. He was willing to do that. Still, Nikki said no. I mean, this is just a sad situation when you get to see his receipts and we get to see his side of the story as well, because basically he has always been the villain in this story on the YouTube streets, has been labeled as a person who has been abusive, a cheater, and 4 years later he's sharing his story, and it ends up that all these things that people were accusing him of is actually what he has been going through. Anyway, that's what's happening. You are up to date. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified once of any new uploads. Catch you on the next one. Bye.